Hi, I'm Rocky Outcrop, and here we are looking at Tezos and the Tezos technical analysis. and let's just dive straight onto the chart, shall we, and see what's going on. So we're back in here. This is the Bitcoin, the Tezos versus US dollar, XTZ versus USD 24-hour Coinbase chart. And just before we start looking at all this sort of information here, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who's liked and subscribed to the videos recently. It really means an awful lot. And I'm absolutely overwhelmed by how we managed to bust through 50 subscribers yesterday, all the way up into the 60s. I mean, that's just crazy. It got more than 10% more than I would have possibly hoped for in my wildest dreams. So that really means a lot to me. It means that this content is being perceived as being somewhat valuable by some people, and that's good news. So I really do appreciate it. So sorry for wasting your time there with that big thank you, but I just wanted to send out a genuine thanks to everybody who's helping get this channel off the ground. So that's really appreciated. And what we're looking at here in terms of the Coinbase chart with Tezos is, of course, our BS Fibonacci retracement. Now, I'm calling it BS because until such times as a Fibonacci retracement, and of course, this one here drawn from the lows to the highs, going left to right, as always with Fibonacci's. But if you ever see somebody doing right to left with Fibonacci, then they're not really using it correctly. And I don't want to name any names here, so I'm not going to, but I saw that recently in some video that popped up, and I just, anyway, so if you're looking up here, you can see that that this retracement would be to measure the downward move and a possible retrace from this upward move here. So if you were to measure that down the way and you wanted to see where the targets could be, you'd need to bust below the 236 here for that to become valid, in which case you'd start looking down to targets of 270 and stuff like that down below, 260s, of course, 237 where the 50% retrace is, and we have these horizontal lines that we drew in anyway coming in and around there. And of course, these 618s, a golden zone retrace would be down there at $2 flat. So really, we really don't want to see that happening in terms of the bullish perspective for Tezos. And so far, despite this not being a real Fibonacci or whatever, we have seen support coming in and around this area. And crucially as well, when it looked like we might close on the daily below it, that was reversed, and we've managed to continue to go on to the upside. So I do think there's a positive future here with this. And next week, I might do a how high could it go type video for Tezos. But I'm still curious at the minute about this differential. Now, just bring this panel back up a second. As you can see, the current price there is 353, and this is on Coinbase. But over there on the HitBTC, you can see it's $3.09. And of course, that's just a few cents below that crucial area that we'll take out in just a second, where we're looking for it to bust above the 236. Now, on the way, just before we leave Coinbase, as you can see, I pointed out how these Fibonacci's work, and we wanted it to bust below there. Now, for it to be a downward retracement. Now, on the HitBTC website, thanks to this historical, much more price action, we can draw in a Fibonacci from its all-time highs to its all-time lows. And we can see that the prices are crucially operating in a very similar way, in that they've come up here and they've been resisted by this 236 here on the bigger time frame. So really, what I want to see out of the two Fibonacci's, which one would become valid, what I'm looking for is this one to become valid, and to look for upside targets in around the $4.80 and $7.50 marks or so. But of course, we've got other targets in the meantime, like $4 flat as well. But there's this differential that's happening at the minute with the prices. You can see that they're 44 cents apart from each other at the minute, and over the last few days they've been as far apart as 60 cents and as close together as 10 cents. So there seems to be some sort of arbitrage opportunity there. But also, Ollie, one of the viewers, pointed out that perhaps HitBTC aren't letting people withdraw, and that's creating other sorts of problems. So anyway, I don't know, but if you were to buy and hold Tezos in terms of just having somewhere where you bought it and held it, and you weren't looking to withdraw it immediately, then HitBTC could be offering you up like a 20% discount on the thing at the minute, which is crazy. And if that were to become amortized, then you'd bust through this area immediately. By amortized, what I mean is just kind of go back to being level, and across the different exchanges. So the current price that I'm keeping my eye out for on this particular exchange is $3.11. And as you can see here in the 24 hours, but if I go down to the 4 hours as well, you can see, in fact, just stick it on the 1 hour, so you can see that we've been operating in and around this area quite a bit, and prices haven't quite decided where they're going to go to. So what we really want to see here is it going just a few cents up and staying up there for a number of hours. And on the 4 hour chart, we've managed to have one open and close, but it was part of this red candle that's just continued to get continuation to the downside. So we're looking really for the 24 hours to get up above this area, and if it doesn't, then I'll be revisiting the Coinbase chart to try and figure out if we have gone down below this current price action here at $3.18. Now, isn't it kind of funny how this 236 is coming in at around 3.2, and this 236 is coming in at about 3.1, and they're the kind of the diametrically opposite points of view on the market. And really, I think that kind of sums up where we are for Tezos at the minute. And I'm sorry for kind of repeating myself in the sense that I've spoken about this for a few days now, but this is really what we're looking for. And in terms of like divergences or anything else, well, again, like the previous videos has all of that information in there, and there really isn't an awful lot to be writing home about there. I don't think that there's anything particularly worth mentioning right now off the top of my head. But of course, if you think there is and I've missed something, please let me know. And in terms of the moving averages and whatnot as well, is that there isn't really clear where you could draw out areas for potential support, other than perhaps this first one here if the prices do drop down, where we've had previous highs and previous really been resisted by it in around that area, and that's in and around where the 21's coming in at. So if there were to be some volatility over the next wee while, then I suppose I'd look down to that 260 level again, as you can see on Coinbase. But I wouldn't want that to happen. I don't think that it's necessarily going to happen either, and instead I'm looking to the upside. But if there was to be something, then you could see that coming down here could hit off of this zone, and then the retracement, Fibonacci retracement, could all fail, having been the 382 being. And the reason why I make these green, actually 382 is green and the 618 is green, is because so often that's where the prices will go as far as and no further, either of these potential retrace lines. And so my first target there would obviously be 382 for a turnaround if there were to be one. I've spoken more about this than I intended to as well, in fact, today, and I just want to again say thank you so much to everybody who's liked and subscribed. I've also put up a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a Chainlink video so far today, and I'm looking for people to let me know in the comments below what else they want to see me do things on. So far, the Tezos videos have proved fairly popular. I'm in two minds about the Chainlink ones in a way, although I do think that they're popular too, and maybe people want to see that information. I'm not so sure, but I'm also considering the Bitcoin and Ethereum ones now. Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, will be the biggest two markets. They lead the market in so many ways, both of them do, and it's always worth bearing in mind, because if you just look over here, for instance, at Ethereum, which would be one of the biggest competitors to Tezos as a coin, the charts are very similar overall in their overall structure at the minute. So I'm looking to find out if people should think I should do other coins or whatever, but I am also thinking that I'll probably keep doing Bitcoin and Ethereum as part of my daily technical analysis. But of course, let me know in the comments below if you think of anything different. And also, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for becoming a Rocky Outcrop petition. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one, which is tomorrow. And I'll spend less time saying thanks to everybody in tomorrow's video. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate it, because I really do. So thanks to all of you out there in the world. See you next time.